Operation True Promise. Iran rains missiles on Israel in an unprecedented development. Iran launched a large-scale missile attack on Israel, shaking Tel Aviv and disrupting its defense systems. The Iron Dome failed to intercept the missiles
from day one, with hundreds of strikes recorded, resulting in the death of 4 people and the injury of more than 90 others.
Iran announced that it had targeted several strategic sites, including sensitive military and security headquarters. Destruction sweeps through Israel. Explosions echoed throughout the night in Israeli cities, turning residential towers and multi-story buildings into rubble. Smoke clouds filled the sky, rooftops were blown off, and dozens of parked cars were destroyed. Residents of the Israeli capital took refuge in underground shelters, and the U.S. ambassador admitted he had to hide 5 times during the bombing. Ben Gurion Airport was closed again. Tehran announced it had downed several Israeli aircraft, including 2 F-35 fighter jets, and that 2 pilots had been captured, one of them a woman. Celebrations in Tehran. Crowds flooded the streets of Tehran in celebration, chanting slogans in support of the Iranian army and against Israel. Iran declared its intention to launch a second, even larger attack, 20 times bigger than the first, consisting of more than 2,000 missiles. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei issued clear instructions warning the United States, Britain and France not to intervene, stating that the Zionist regime had made a grave mistake and would not escape punishment, and that any supporters of Israel would also be considered targets. Iranian losses and harsh retaliation on the other side. Iran lost several senior commanders, including Deputy Head of Military Operations General Mehdi Rabbani and Intelligence Chief General Gholam Mehrabi. 3 nuclear scientists, Ali Baghai, Mansour Asri, and Sayed Borji, were also killed. Israel bombed a residential complex in Tehran, resulting in the death of 60 civilians, including 20 children. It also targeted Mehrabad Airport and a military base in Asadabad. Violent explosions were reported in East Azerbaijan, Zanjan, Khorramabad, and Kermanshah, with air traffic disrupted across the country. Uncovering infiltration, Iranian media revealed the arrest of 5 individuals accused of spying for Mossad and aiding Israel in its operations. A vehicle smuggling Israeli drones was also seized. In contrast, Israel attempted to cover up the scale of the damage and barred an American reporter from covering the situation inside military compounds. Mounting international pressure, Iranian diplomats criticized the silence of the United Nations, saying it encourages Israel to continue its crimes. In an emergency session of the UN Security Council, Iran described the Israeli attack as a blatant violation of sovereignty. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called for calm, stressing that it is time to return to the diplomatic path. Regional escalation. The U.S. President spoke by phone with the Saudi Crown Prince and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, emphasizing the importance of diplomatic solutions. Russian President Vladimir Putin offered to mediate and communicated with both Iranian and Israeli leaderships. Organization of Islamic Cooperation calls for peace. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation condemned the Israeli aggression, calling it a threat to regional security, and urged the UN Security Council to immediately halt the attacks. It affirmed that war will not resolve conflicts and that dialogue and diplomacy are the only way out of the crisis. Israeli aggression continues in Gaza. Israel continued its bombardment of the Gaza Strip, leading to the death of 90 Palestinians and injuring more than 600 over 2 days. Israeli forces imposed a full lockdown on the West Bank. Participants in a Gaza solidarity march in Ismailia were attacked with stones. A planned international conference on the 2-state solution in New York was postponed due to disrupted flights, which prevented the Palestinian president from attending. The French president requested that the time and location of the conference be changed.